Hoochin' Hobbies. My name is Maison.
And my name is Grayson.
And welcome to The Modern Dude.
Podcast by dudes, for dudes, helping dudes become better dudes.
Dude! After a long day of living in this crazy world, you need to be able to unwind. Having a hobby or a self-care ritual is super important. And on top of that, it's really incredibly important for your mental health.
Well said, Mason.
Why do you always say well said?
It was well said. Why else would I be saying
That we already talked about this, so like you don't know what to say after we come out of that. That's like your like go-to.
I don't know why you're saying this like this. I feel like I'm saying a very nice thing and I'm encouraging you. The modern dude would do such a thing.
We just kind of like mix it up sometimes.
Okay. That was a shitty thing that you just said and you didn't say it well and you suck.
Love that.
Okay. I love this one. I love my ritual, my self-care things.
Your alone time?
I love to have, when no one's home and it's just me, and I pull out my Nintendo Switch. And I play it. And I play with it for hours. And I enjoy it. And there's certain moments where I get to a big climax. And I win, you know? And that release is everything to me.
Boing. I think hobbies and self-care are so undervalued in this world. I think that guys are really good at having hobbies. Mm-hmm. And I think women are really good at self-care.
Yes.
And I don't know, and this is maybe a hot take, I don't know if that literally, or that always goes both, God, this fucking way. Wow. Always goes both ways. And maybe that's a hot take, but I know for a fact.
What do you think doesn't go both ways?
I think that maybe guys, like I said, guys are good at hobbies. Like they're good at filling their time with like an extracurricular thing that's not like video games or fantasy football or sports
yeah,
or, you know, whereas I don't know, and maybe this is just because I'm a dude and I don't know the world of lady projects, hobbies as well.
World of lady projects.
Like I know that like lots of people have like hobbies that, you know, that are unisex. They're like hiking or painting and blah, blah, blah. But I maybe it's just because I don't know like what women do as hobbies that are mostly exclusively for women. And maybe that's just my bias.
Murder podcast is a thing.
But that's not doing a thing. That's listening to a thing. But that's amazing.
I guess.
Whereas
that is a cliche, but
on the flip side, on the flippy, they do.
They love murder podcasts.
This is very true. I think women are very good at self-care, and I don't think guys are good at it at all.
Yeah,
for the most part.
I don't think what I do think is that you are right, and I don't think it's actually that hot of a take because I don't think that
you can just see
they're both strengths. They're the same thing, but they're framed.
Self-care can be a hobby, I guess.
Yeah, you know what I mean? It's about a ritual. Like we have a game that we like to play, and there's certain times when we want to unwind. Yeah. So we'll go and play. Like me and Mason love to play video games. It's one of those things that we both like to do. It's part of our ritual. Absolutely. It's part of our like wind down kind of thing. Or we have a little bit of free time.
Although sometimes it winds us up.
But
it's a hobby because this is kind of both. So.
Right, exactly. But still, I mean, at least for me, it really depends on the game. Like the difference specifically in me and Mason when it comes to video games being like a wind down kind of de-stress type thing is that Mason doesn't play like a lot of games that the same type of games like I like to play. Like he plays mainly like
exclusively
like shooters and like battle royale type things and FPS type stuff, first person shooter stuff. Whereas like a big wind down for me, I play those games because it's sort of like challenging and adrenaline pumping and like exhilarating a little bit. My wind down time with video games is like more like RPG type things.
Sure, yeah.
And things that like you can kind of just like
Long form.
yeah, you can casually play through, and there's still challenges and things like that. But if you get to a challenge and you can't get past this quest or do this thing, you can like do something else in the game. You know, like you can be like, all right, well, I'm gonna do this other thing because that's gonna help me get stronger and another thing, so that when I go back to this battle, I'm stronger. Like it's a different kind of like ease and flow.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
So that is like the difference for like our video game tastes. But like I think that I could do better with finding more self-care things. And I think the difference between self-care.
Yeah.
You just want to talk about
I was
video
just
games.
like, I just want to talk about my new RPG that I got. It's called Alive. I have the pre-order, and the demo's been amazing. I can't wait for the full game.
You said that in a funny voice, but that's actually how you feel.
It's also true. I can't wait for this new game. I really am really excited to get a 2D HD polish. Can't wait. Anyways.
In a minute, I'm going to play this game a little.
Oh my God, dude, please. That song has been living in my fucking head rent-free, and I need to kick them out. They have not been.
It's just one person.
She is not. Lizzo has not been nice. Lizzo has not been doing the dishes. She's not been doing her part. She's not been cleaning. She's just living rent-free, and I'm like, get out of there.
Oh,
enough is enough.
There. She's in there.
Anyway, the self-care part, the part for me is that they are kind of the same thing in that way.
There's self-care, but there's like, I guess when I think of self-care, sorry, I just totally interrupted you.
It's fine. For me, the self-care part is that women, you know, if women like to do that, like they like to like draw a bath.
Exactly.
And like light some candles and like do a mask and whatever. And I'm like, that to me, I want it. I wish I did that more. I wish that was part of like something that I did, but like this other thing is what I know, which I think I would benefit from drawing a fucking bath and lighting some fucking candles.
Yeah.
And putting on a mask, maybe smoking a little bit of weed and just chilling out.
You smoke weed?
But the
that
thing
is like Mary Grace's actual
that's her
unwind.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And
Yes.
Rachel loves doing that. Rachel like doesn't get to do it all the time, but when she does, she's like,
and she puts on a murder podcast. Like
Yeah.
dead ass.
And
I will
murder
walk into the
podcast
bathroom. It is pitch black except for like a couple candles. There's a murder podcast on.
someone's dying. Yeah.
She has probably taken a little bit of her tincture or smoked a little ganj and is chilling in the bathtub.
Cucumbers are.
Oh, with the mask on. Yeah.
But the thing is, what's funny is it's always considered this is what guys do and like this is what girls do. And for me, as much as I think it'd be great to draw the bath and do the self-care and do the mask. The bath bomb. I think it might also be advantageous for women to try their hand at like playing video games.
Shoot some motherfuckers.
Or you know, doing other guy things that guys do.
I would love it. First, okay, here's a good one. Mary Grace. So I'm obsessed with fantasy football. Mary Grace, I'm of the Church of Matthew Berry. Shout out Matthew Berry. And I invited her to be a part of our fantasy football league. And she's been a part of it now for like 5 years.
Yeah.
And she's won it. Like she's really good at it.
Yeah.
Like she doesn't put a lot of time into it, but like she's drafted really well and she's made trades and she's good at it.
Yeah. Rachel actually
that's
has
right.
played
She plays.
fantasy
She
football
fucking
too.
down.
I need
is
to get
down
on that, man.
Exactly. So there is like when I say that like there is some like I don't know if you know like women are better at
rituals and like self-care type
self-care. Stuff. Yeah. They of course have hobbies too. I just feel like that's maybe the association is more that kind of thing versus hobbies of like dudes like going fishing and shit.
Going fishing.
Yeah.
Playing golf. Yeah, and I think I think those worlds could maybe cross over a bit more, and because I wish I did those things because I see the benefits in that.
Yeah.
Whereas like I think like a lot of maybe it's a hot take, but I think a lot of women like don't see the benefits in kind of playing video games. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And some do. I mean, I bought a Switch for Rachel for Christmas, and she has a good time with it. You know, she enjoys it, and like but that's not. It's not that you have to. It's just trying other things, such as like playing video games might actually like do a part of the brain, like flex a part of the brain in a different way that's like really easy to like relax with, and like it can be calming.
I want to hear in the comments what like, and like we just named a bunch of stereotypical dude hobbies.
Yeah.
I just can't think of like stereotypical female hobbies.
Yeah. Besides self-care type things, like, and look, there's exceptions to this rule.
Of
Obviously,
course.
There's tons of women that like love playing video games. There's tons of men that love to draw baths and drop a bath bomb in and get crazy with it.
Sure.
There's tons of women who love to like play basketball as a pastime.
Of course.
You know, there's tons of guys that like to do yoga. Like, it's like whatever. Like,
Yeah.
Obviously there's crossover, but in general, like, there can
I'm
be
just
a
trying
difference.
to think, and I'm totally putting myself out here to get flamed, and I'm totally okay with it. I just like I'm like coming up blank on like female hobbies. I don't know.
Hobbies. Yeah, I don't know.
And maybe it's just because I'm a dude and I don't think about it. But like I've had this conversation. I've even had it with Mary Grace before. I'd be like, "What is a hobby you have?" And she was like, "I like painting my nails."
Yelling at you, Mason.
I was like, "I like painting my nails." I was like, "That's not a hobby."
That's something everything. I
It's
mean,
like a thing, but like
no, it's not. It's not a hobby. I guess it's
not
not
a
a hobby.
hobby.
It's not a hobby.
no,
No.
like brunch isn't a hobby. And I'm totally gonna get flamed for this, but I'm
Shout out
okay.
brunch.
But I'm okay
Shout
with it.
out.
I just literally like I want to hear, and
Shout
I'm
out brunch.
totally okay getting flamed for this. But like, I'm coming up empty.
Sure, I know. And I think overall the point we're making is that they are important.
Yeah.
They are important to have those wind downs. They're important to do those things. And you know what it is? Even though you said brunch, I think that is.
It's not a hobby.
It's not. Well, it's do your. I mean, like it's a wind down thing. So nails.
That's a self-care thing. That's what I'm saying.
Self-care thing.
There is a
yeah.
difference. So it's kind of like there's a square is a rectangle, but a rectangle isn't a square.
Sure,
You know?
yeah.
Like so they are similar, but they're not the same.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's interesting.
Like you saying you going getting fucking blitzed on mimosas and Bloody Marys is not a hobby.
No, that's a way of life. that is a religion.
And don't get me wrong, I love a brunch.
I fucking love a brunch. We live in New York
That's
City.
not a hobby. That's not a hobby.
Yeah.
Painting, cycling.
Painting, cycling.
But those are like unisex things. That's what I'm saying. I'm just trying to think of like a.
But everything should. That's the thing is like everything should be, and I think both sides can benefit from.
I'm taking a firm
from
stance.
different things.
I'm taking a firm stance.
Take
I
that
want,
firm
I want
stance.
women. I want women to tell me a stereotypical hobby.
Let's have a discussion about it. I'd love to hear more things about it. I'd love
Because
to hear more.
guys are. There's so many.
Yeah.
And maybe because I'm an idiot guy, I can't think of them because I'm just not in that world. And
Yeah.
I grew up with two brothers.
It
and
really
I'm
is
just
it's the definition of the words. Like a hobby is a specific thing, whereas like self-care.
You're doing a good thing
Isn't-
for your mental or body,
Right,
which you
it's-
can do. Hobby can be for that too.
Right.
But a hobby is like something you go and do.
Right.
It's the act of doing.
It's a little bit
self-care
more,
isn't
it's
always
more active. It's more active with your brain or
Yeah.
your like physical than it is just passively like doing your nails or like getting
Yeah,
a
you
bath
can
or
watch like
listening
watching,
to a
like watching a show and doing your nails is not a hobby.
right.
You know.
I think people will make an argument for watching Netflix as a hobby.
No, but that's what I'm saying. But that is a unisex thing.
Sure, yeah.
I'm saying specific female things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Let us know in the comments. I would love to hear this conversation.
Gonna get crucified.
But the point is, those things are important. If you don't have things like that you do, I think everybody for the most part does, but it's important that you have those things. You
Yeah.
have those self-care things. You have those hobbies. You have those wind down things, because if you don't, and people should respect the fact that you have those and let you do those.
And I'm not saying, just to be clear, I'm
Yeah.
not saying women don't have hobbies. I'm
No.
saying can't think of stereotypical female
Right.
hobbies.
Right. And so it's like those are all still things that like we should garner as like very important, because
Yeah.
it's so hard to go through your day to day and not have something to unwind about and
Yeah.
not have something to like relax and lay back and just do something
And
you
lots
like
of people,
enjoy
there's lots
doing.
of dudes that don't fucking go play golf and like love to Netflix and chill.
Yeah.
And that's fine.
But it's about like
I will say this as a dude and talking to dudes, I think it's important that you find a hobby.
Yeah.
And
100%.
And universally, but we are talking to dudes here. I think it's extremely important because there's your career, there's your relationships,
Yeah.
or your friends, there's your family. But then, what is the thing that you want to do for you? You know,
Right?
And I think that's like, if you're sitting back and saying, "Well, I fucking love watching shows, and that's my thing," sure.
The
Fine.
difference is the hobby flexes the mind and in a muscle in a different way than what your
taking
normal
in
just chill
TV,
thing is.
is not expanding your, you're not actively doing something to make you like better yourself.
Right.
Like even nerdy things are good. Like
Yeah.
fucking D&D is awesome.
Sure.
Because you are learning something. Even
Right.
though it's a game, you're learning something, you know?
Right.
You're doing something with friends. It's
You're actively trying to solve something or
There's-
do something, and
yeah.
you're flexing a part of your brain
video
that
games
you
are-
don't normally do, which winds up kind of
Same
being
way.
fun. you
Same
know?
way. Whereas like passively watching a show is not that.
It's not that.
It's not the same thing.
Which is fine. You need wind down stuff like that too. But there also
Absolutely.
should be
Everyone fucking watches shows.
Of course. Got to be up on Stranger Things.
It's great. The season's really good.
Actually, I haven't seen it. The new season.
great.
Yeah, I've heard.
But I would challenge the dudes out there to we need to like come up with a phrase for our followers. Like every podcast has like
Wouldn't it be dudes?
the dudes,
The dudes.
I guess.
Shout out to all the dudes. Duderonis.
The Duderinos?
The Duderinos. Shout out to the Duderinos. Maybe it's Duderitos. Maybe we're making that right now.
Duderinos.
Duderinos.
All right.
Tell us if you hate that in the comments.
Or some suggestions.
Or suggestions, please.
Duderinos. I will challenge you to if you don't have like a real thing, if your thing is like going out and drinking or going out and brunching or fucking watching Netflix,
Stuck on some brunch.
look deep inside and like challenge yourself to like, even if it is like working out, find something that like makes you hum, that makes you click, that like inspires you to be a better person. You
And
know?
that's all yours.
Yeah.
You know, that's another part of it too, is like
Man,
something
you kind of turned me on just then.
that's all yours.
God. Wow.
Well, because it's also important, especially in friendships and in relationships, to have a thing that's like kind of yours.
Yes.
You know?
Absolutely. Like, yes, I shared my love of fantasy football with Mary Grace, and she does it, and she likes it.
I share my love of video games with Rachel,
Yeah.
and we play Mario Kart
Yes.
together, and she likes it.
But at the core of it, that is
It's still my
thing.
Still my thing.
And she has her things that she likes. I don't know what they are.
Yeah.
But do that and like just dude, have a little self-reflection and think on something that like maybe you've never tried but you've always wanted to.
Yeah.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
I think that's important because maybe you're always like, man, those fucking not Iron Man, but like the fun runs or like the color
yeah.
runs. Like
Yeah, sure.
that stuff looks cool. Or maybe I want to like maybe I'll go look into like CrossFit, you know?
Yeah.
Try some shit out. It's good. It's healthy. Expand your mind. You're going to meet new people. You're going to try new things. You're going to learn something new. That stuff's all fucking good. You're
Yeah.
going to find a community that's going to be fun. If there's a thing that you've been thinking about doing, just fucking try it. Why not?
Guess what's great about the hobby? Low stakes.
Yeah.
At any point,
It's
if
not
you're
your
not liking
career,
it
it's
or
not
you-
your relationship.
Exactly.
Yeah,
It's low
man.
stakes. You can step away at any time.
But it's super important for your mental health.
So try stuff, man.
Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah, that's
go for it.
what's a dude got to do? Try something new, man.
Yeah, it could really turn out to be something
Yeah.
amazing that's really, really good for you, and an amazing escape from reality from your normal day to day.
Oh, there goes gravity.
Okay. Anyway,
You know the Rex. You know the Rex.
the relax transition. Hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. Leave a bunch of comments. And,
Women, I love you, and I'm sure you have hobbies. I'm just an idiot. And don't know.
Oh yeah, well we've put enough of these down at this point to where they know who we are and where we stand on all of those things. So please talk to us. Give us some
Feedback.
some feedback, some good back and forth. We would love that. If you're watching this on YouTube, please click subscribe and the notifications down below. And if you want to check us out on Instagram, on TikTok, it's all
yeah.
at The Modern Dude. And we would love to hear back from you, all right? And don't forget,
Oh.
do y'all do diligent.
Oh.